Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Anmol Astrology channel. Now, today's topic is part 2 for Arudha Lagna, in which we shall discuss about planets when each and every planet comes into the ascendant of Arudha Lagna. So, first, let me tell you, these predictions are not for actually what you are. Rather, this is about how people perceive you as an individual, as a person in the society. So, as I told earlier, Arudha Lagna is the chart that we consider for fame, that we consider for career, and that we consider for looking into this thing, that how people perceive your image out in public. Because, of course, whatever you do in your career, you are going out there, fulfilling your obligation to the society and doing things for the society. So Arudha Lagna is a concept of Gemini astrology which tells us how people are perceiving you, what you are doing on daily basis out in public. If you guys do not know what Arudha Lagna is and which houses are important in Arudha Lagna, do check out my previous video on Arudha Lagna. I'll share the link below. And if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. And if you guys would like to have a personal reading for me, check out the link below, www.anmolastrology.com, and under the consultation section you can book a personal reading for yourself. Okay, so let's get started with the planets in the first house, or the Lagna of Arudha Lagna. Right, Arudha Lagna is first of all the Gemini concept, and the aspects we use in Arudha Lagna are of Gemini aspects only, which is the aspects through zodiac signs and not of that of planets. Okay, so now the question arises that which planet causes or makes you famous in the public. We do have certain planets that can make you famous in the public, but when it's about Arudha Lagna, it's just that how you are perceived in the public, and all the planets, any of the planet can cause fame, to be honest. Any planet in 1st and 10th, be it be Sun, be it be Rahu, be it be Venus, that can create fame. Because for recognizing that if a person will get fame or not, that is a different concept. First, you have to see in your D1 chart that is there the promise of fame. Then you have to see in your D10 chart that is your D10 chart promising that you will have fame, and then comes the Arudha Lagna, which will tell you which sort of fame you will have. Like suppose if you have Sun in the ascendant, you will be famous, you will be respectful, but it depends in which sign Sun will be placed in. It will manipulate the result that in which direction or in which category you are famous in. Suppose you have Venus. So a person is very famous for his looks, for his creativity, for his dramatic arts. If you have Mercury, you are famous for your communication skills, for how you interact with other people. If you have Jupiter, you are famous for your guidance, for your counseling, for your advices. So that is how the results are manipulated, right? So first of all, we'll start with Sattvic planets. First comes Sun. If you have Sun in the ascendant of your Arudha Lagna, now what happens is Sun is a planet that illuminates wherever it sits in, or it is a planet that gives light to the house it is in. So if you have Sun in the ascendant, that means people will perceive you as a personality who is very charming, leadership qualities, who is dependable, and who has prestige, fame, and respect in the society. Of course, the condition depends a lot. The condition of the Sun will tell you what sort of reputation you're going to have out in public. So such an individual, even if this individual is doomed in his personal life, or they don't have money, for example, or they are not doing much well in their personal life, this person will have that confidence to go out in public and show as if they are living a royal lifestyle and they are living like a king. That is what Sun is. Wherever it goes, the person brighten ups the whole environment. So that's what sun represents when it is in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna. And of course, sun does represent that a person will be famous. Now, what amount of famous a person will be, or will a person be famous or infamous, that depends on the conjunction and the sign which in sun is placed. So these are basically fundamental predictions as to how a planet manipulates, right? But it will be further added, and the predictions may vary on the basis of conjunction and on the basis of sign placement. Okay, next comes in moon. So if you have moon in your ascendant, what happens is a person is quite motherly. People perceive that person as to be quite motherly, always nourishing, always helping people. Even in the case of sun, those people are perceived to be very helpful and very dependable personalities, but that they basically do just to gain respect in the society. But when it comes to moon, it's all about nourishment. But one thing we need to understand is, though moon rules the sign of Cancer, which is the water element and which is the most nourishing sign, right? But moon is the representation of Soma. It wants to enjoy the pleasures of the society. So you'll see such a person will be perceived by other people as if that person is very much into gaining comforts in life, very much into having a comfortable life, and very much associated and focused on happiness, one's own happiness and comfort. And such a person can also appear to be very selfish and clever. Because you see, moon is a very diplomatic planet, and moon represents diplomacy. Moon and Venus actually. So with moon, a person will be famous for their helpful nature, for their motherly nature, for their, they will be very much into social gathering. More than social, it will be family gatherings. The thing you'll see with moon is that the person's appearance and the person's way of dealing with people would be very soft. And these people are also going to be foodie. At least people are going to perceive that that is one person who loves food. And since we have moon here, moon always have duality in itself, and moon always have dual nature and dual characteristics, because whenever we see moon on the up front, when it is creating that light, on the other hand, it is the area which is black. So there is always secrecy with moon. So you'll see such a person always has secrets in life, and people may also perceive that this person is secretly hiding anything. Now, other thing you'll see with moon is that moon is a very lustful energy. So you'll also see that people are going to perceive such a person to be very lustful. And lastly, whenever we have moon or Mercury in the ascendant, a person can also be misunderstood for being jealous in their life, unless they have some placements in D1, but this usually happens. Misunderstanding I have seen with the Jupiter, Mercury, Jupiter, then moon, all of these planets, right? Further, since moon had 27 wives, moon has a tendency to be lustful first of all, and to be controlling in his nature. So that's why you'll always perceive such a person to be very controlling of their surroundings. You'll always see they are the people who are deciding things for other people out of love, out of compassion. But that is one trait for moon having in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna. Now next comes in Jupiter. Now whenever you'll have Jupiter in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna, a person is known to be a cranky headmaster. Secondly, having Jupiter in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna, and if the condition is good, means this Jupiter is well placed and it doesn't have any conjunction with other malefic planets, then this person will be perceived to be an advisor, counselor, teacher. People will come up to you in order to get their counseling or get advices from you for something or the other. Even if you are a creative artist, even if you are an actor, but people will see you as an advisor and they'll approach you to get their advices from you. The other thing you'll see is that because of Jupiter, people will also perceive that you are a personality who is quite rigid and who is very opinionated and have a certain belief system and very philosophical, talking about philosophy all of the time and educating other people with the amount of knowledge they have. So such a person is perceived to be a strong, rigid personality and very knowledgeable personality as well. The other thing you'll see with Jupiter in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna as well is that you'll always hear, if you have Jupiter as the ascendant of your Arudha Lagna, then you'll always see people coming to you and telling you that you have put on your weight, and sometimes they'll be telling you that you have lost a lot of weight. So there's always that perception about fluctuations of your weight or your body structure, right? And one negative trait which a person can have with Jupiter in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna, that people may perceive nowadays, if we are talking about this generation, then people may perceive you to be a very philosophical and optimistic person who is very high spirited but who lacks worldly affairs, who lacks the knowledge of the world, the practical and diplomatic knowledge of the world. These people are actually too good to be true. And these people are very helpful, just like Sun, Moon. In Sun is more of like helping people in return, to get something in return, to get attention in return, to get prestige and respect in return. Whereas Moon, the people just want to nourish other people, help other people out of compassion. And whereas when it comes to Jupiter, people want to help just to spread that optimism, just to spread that positivity. Now we'll come on Rajasic planets. In Rajasic planets, first we have Mercury. If a person has Mercury in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna, it means that a person is big time communicator. People perceive as that person is very calculative, very detail oriented, a spreader of information. Now, are you a person who gossips, who spreads gossips, or you spread knowledgeable information? That depends on the conjunction of Mercury and the house placement and aspects of Mercury. If somehow Jupiter is involved, then this person is spreading out whatever they know, whatever their knowledge is. But if this Mercury is by itself or manipulated by Rahu, these people can have a tendency to spread rumors. Because you see, Rahu manipulates the energy of Mercury here. So that's why results can manipulate accordingly. Next thing you'll see with Mercury is that this person, you'll always see this person to be all over the place, doing multiple things at a time. A multitasker, a person who always takes in quick decisions, a person who is always up for adventure, just like Mars. But here it is more of, youthful behavior. You'll see a person to be quite youthful. A person always wants to look young, and they are very conscious about their looks, about how their image is. And many of times, as I mentioned earlier, that with Mercury, a person can be misunderstood, because since Mercury rules Gemini and the sign of Virgo, both of the signs are the dual signs. So there comes a duality with it. The other thing you'll see is that with Mercury, a person will be perceived as an individual who knows how to earn money, how to market itself, to market its product, or to market himself. And even Rahu causes that. Okay, now next we have Venus. When it comes to Venus, a person will be very charming, even if they are not very beautiful, but their presence is going to be quite charming. The other thing you'll see is that with Venus, a person is known for their creativity, their beauty, their something which they do with their hand, or either their face is involved somewhere. So such a person is also perceived to be a very devoted person. Devotion, because see, Venus is a planet of devotion. Why it is exalted in the 12th house? 12th house is something beyond this realm. 12th house is something where a person escapes from every materialistic thing in this life. There Venus is exalted, because Venus finds that devotion which is beyond this normal earthly relationships. So that's why Venus perceives devotion as well. Now such a person is going to be perceived to be a very diplomatic and clever person. You'll always see people talking about these people that they are very diplomatic. They always give manipulative and diplomatic answers. Another thing you'll see is that these people are always admiring beauty. And one more thing where Jupiter lacks but Venus is there, that Venus acquires the knowledge, the higher wisdom, as well as the worldly wisdom, the worldly knowledge, the practical worldly affairs, that how a person has to deal in the present. So that is what people are going to perceive with Venus. Now we'll come to Tamasic planets, and first comes in Saturn. Whenever you have Saturn in your ascendant of your Arudha Lagna, a person is perceived as a very hardworking, disciplined and committed individual. You'll always see this person, you'll see this person to be very clingy. Whatever thing they think of or whatever they are talking about, you'll see they'll stretch those things a lot. You'll always observe this about such individuals. Whenever you have Capricorn ascendant in Arudha Lagna, or you have Aquarius ascendant in the Arudha Lagna, and or you have Saturn in the ascendant of Arudha Lagna, these people stretch things a lot. So that's why they might sound a bit clingy. The other thing you'll see is such people are perceived to be very practical, very much service oriented, and these people know how to get their things done. They know how to form long-term contracts, and they can be a bit of old looking, or they will appear to be very old looking and mature in the eyes of the public. With Saturn in the ascendant is that such people are perceived to be quite unbothered and quite practical with their approach. Whatever they say, they can be harsh, they can be cold. This is all I'm saying on the basis of perception. I'm not saying this is you, but people perceive you like this. Let me mention it again and again. And very focused towards whatever task they are given. Now we have Mars. Whenever you have Mars in the ascendant of your Arudha Lagna, such a person is said to be a humanitarian. People will perceive you as a person who jumps into the conflicts of other people and helps them. See, where it comes Jupiter, Sun, Moon, that is helping people out of other purposes, which I mentioned earlier. But when it comes to Mars, that is the passionate energy, that is a violent energy. You'll always see people with Mars in the ascendant of the Arudha Lagna. These people are quite passionate with whatever they do. You'll always see them following their passion over anything else in their life, be it be career, be it be love, or be it be any other area of their life. The other thing you'll see is that with Mars, a person is perceived to be quite clever as well. Mars is a very clever energy who knows how things are to be managed in certain way to gain from it. The other thing you'll see is such a person is very status oriented, or it's not like such people are greedy, but they want that higher status for themselves, and that too out of their career. So these people are quite ambitious as well. Other thing you'll see with Mars is, since Mars is a natural born manager, these people are always trying to manage things. These people are always trying to manage money. These people are very good with management of money, management of events. So you'll always see people referring to them for getting something managed, or even you can see event planners or managers at a good position with this placement. That Mars is a provider and a go-getter. So you'll always see whenever a person has Mars in the ascendant of a Rudha Lagna, that particular individual wants to provide and fulfill the desires of everyone in their surroundings. And with Mars, a person can be, of course, very aggressive, very active, and very adventurous. They are always up for new adventures, always up for traveling. Okay, now next comes in Rahu. Now, when it is about Rahu and Ketu, the results can vary a lot, because Rahu and Ketu behave like, first, whichever planet they are placed with, conjunct with. Second, whichever sign they are placed in, they are going to behave like that planet. Okay, so with Rahu, first, definitely a person can be famous in their life. Now, how this famous is, are they famous or they are infamous, that depends on the placement and dignity of Rahu here. And of course, if suppose Rahu is in the sign of Jupiter, it is going to behave more like Jupiter. So the predictions of Jupiter will be carried forward with Rahu. If it is Saturn, then Saturn qualities will be carried forward. If it is Sun, then Sun's qualities will be carried forward. Okay, next thing you'll see with Rahu is that Rahu is a very mischievous planet, and it is a planet of mirage. So whenever Rahu is in the ascendant of a Rudha Lagna, people tend to portray an illusion out in the public about their image, about who they are. You may not know completely. Even if you know this person, you may not know this person completely. The other thing you'll see with Rahu is, Rahu in the ascendant makes people perceive about you that you are a person who is quite organized and very much detail oriented and a perfectionist. You want everything to be organized and in a perfect order. And with Rahu, you'll see that people are going to perceive you as a rebel, a person who is unorthodox, who is all over the place, and who is doing something which is against the societal norms. The other thing you'll see is that Rahu is also an innovator and go-getter. That's why Rahu in the ascendant will perceive that image as well. Now next comes in Ketu. Of course, the results will be manipulated on the basis of in which sign it is and which planet it is conjuncted with. And that will be added on with the fundamental characteristics of Ketu. So how people will perceive you, that people will perceive you very cutthroat, very competitive. And even with Mars, I forgot to mention that even with Mars, people are going to perceive you as a very competitive person. And even a person, I'm talking about Mars here, even a person who does not takes any debts from anyone, does not take favors from anyone. That is also a characteristic of Mars. Right? Now Ketu. First of all, naturally, Ketu behaves like Mars and Rahu behaves like Saturn. So what happens here is that Ketu is also about being very competitive, being very cutthroat, very blunt and judgmental with people. You'll see with Ketu, there always comes criticism. They'll show you that picture. Just like Mars and Saturn, they'll show you the picture. Mars is about being cutthroat, being blunt, Mars and Ketu. Saturn is about giving you the reality check. So with Ketu, you will also be perceived as an spiritual individual. And by spiritual, I do not mean religious. I mean spiritual, that a person knows that there is some higher purpose to whatever things they are dealing with. One other thing you'll see with Ketu is that a person loves to be in isolation. People will be perceiving such an individual that they want to be alone, they want to be in isolation, and they are very calm. And whenever they are angry, that is the only time you'll see that Rudra Roop of Ketu. And the other thing you'll see with Ketu is that such individuals have love for pets, for animals, and such individuals are very research oriented. They don't let anything go. They will go deep into anything which they have to research. And one more thing you'll see with the Ketu is that they are very good detectives. People will perceive you that this person, whatever we tell this person is going to get all the information about it, going to research about it. But on another level, this person can also be perceived to be a violent individual who takes headless actions and decisions. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis about planets through the ascendant of Arudha Lagna. I hope it was helpful. See you next time. Bye bye.